Okay, so I wanted to build a deck railing on the back of my house, but I had no idea how to start. So I looked at a bunch of pictures online and started a schematic based off that. Now, this might be obvious to you, but there are a lot of ways to design and build a deck railing. So we had to decide on our design. Since I know nothing about carpentry, this visual helped me in naming the parts of the deck railing. First is the posts, which are the 4x4s. Then you have the horizontal railing supports, which are the 2x4s. Then the pickets, which are the 2x2s. And finally the drink railing or the top rail, which are a 2x6. In our original schematic, we were going to have the posts actually sitting on top of the deck and use some pretty heavy-duty brackets here that would surround the 4x4, but we decided that that would cause a pretty wiggly deck, so we decided instead to attach them to the side of the pre-existing deck. In the end, for our railing, what we decided to do was put those support rails in the middle of the post so that we didn't have to get any hardware for that. We decided to do the pickets about a ½ inch off of the railing, and we decided to put the posts down there to the side of the deck that was already there with lag and carriage bolts. For both of these bolts, we used 5/8 inches, and the length depended on the decking that was already there. The lag bolts we used when we couldn't get behind the bolt to tighten it, and the carriage bolts we used when we could. So we used 2 bolts for each 4x4. We did the lag bolts where there was an obstruction behind the posts, and we did carriage bolts where there wasn't. For the lag bolts, we needed to add washers because the lag bolts were getting drilled all the way into the 4x4 without tightening the post to the 2x6. We also pre-drilled all of our holes. So for these 5/8, we used one size down to pre-drill for the screws, and we used the exact same size 5/8 for the carriage bolts that you do have to knock in. We decided not to do the stairs until we built our confidence, but our confidence was built pretty quick. To cut the deck, we used a sawzall, and to cut all the rest of the wood, we used a circular saw. To attach the 4x4s with the lag screws and the carriage bolts, we used a socket wrench set, an adjustable wrench, and a hammer. To connect all the wood, we used wood deck screws, that's galvanized steel, and we used a drill, and we used the drill bits to pre-drill. Besides those deck screws, here's a list of the hardware we used: hex nut, carriage bolt, washers. This is a list of the lumber we used. It's all pre-treated for outdoor use. To connect the support rail to the 4x4, we used a technique called toe nailing, which angles your screw and allows you to connect these pieces at a right angle without brackets. We also decided not to use any brackets when connecting our handrail, so we simply just went in through the top, and it was very easy.